I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible. There is a pretty big glitch, and I'm going to want to talk about that in a moment. From here, we're going to head on over to the NFL icon at the bottom right that says Creation Center. We're going to go ahead and move over to Edit Rosters. We're going to manage players, where we edit teams and trade players. We are not ever going to go to trade players between two teams for two reasons. It's going to revert your roster back to the default, and you can't view by all teams. You have to know the team and the player that you want to trade. So we're going to go to Manage Players here. So I'm going to be mainly the Dolphins. We can look at my roster here. It's the default. So hold down the L2 button or LT, whatever it says at the top left, depending on your platform, next to the word Dolphins. Move all the way up, for example, to all teams. At the top right where you see all, press the corresponding button. For me, it's R2 on PlayStation. Let's say we want to go to quarterback and see what the best quarterback is in the game. Ratings-wise, that's Patrick Mahomes. Let's say you wanted to trade him to the Dolphins. We're going to go and trade the player. There he is. Now, your salary cap is not unlimited outside of the game. You can do further tweaks once you go into franchise mode, okay? So keep that in mind. Don't be too greedy. Go to add a player. Again, we can go quarterback here from all the positions at the top right, because we're going to trade quarterback for quarterback. Now we're going to go to the Dolphins, because that's our team that we're working with right now. And we could see here that if we were to give him just Skylar Thompson, well, that's only $890,000. So let's go ahead and give him someone worthwhile talking about, like Tua. That way, the discrepancy, the cap room is still good. Then you would go ahead and you would start that trade. Do you wish to execute this trade? Yes. And you push the start button for that. Now it's done. Now, when you back out, Patrick Mahomes is with the Miami Dolphins. Let's say you're done picking all the positions that you want to fill in for your team, and you back out. Go ahead and save. We're going to call this test because it's just for the sake of the video. And I want to show it to you in real time. So now we've saved it as test. Okay. Now we go to manage players again. Patrick Mahomes, if that's how you pronounce his name, is with the Miami Dolphins. But I told you earlier that if you go to trade players between two teams, you don't want to do that. First of all, it reverts. You see that? Even if you sort it by overall to make sure. That's it. See? Tua is back with the Dolphins. Not only does it revert your roster, but even if it didn't do so and you go to browse all the teams, you can't browse all teams. It's just not there. See, between Bears and Vikings, there is no all teams. You may not care if you know the team where the player is that you want, but it's going to keep reverting. So now we're going to back out. Maybe you did this and you're like, oh no, what do I do? Back out and go to Share and Manage Files, which is under the Creation Center, the NFL team. So let's just take it a step back. Let's say you're right from the main menu. Go to the Creation Center, go all the way to the end, Share and Manage Files, and from here, go to Load and Delete Files, which deals with profiles, rosters, and more. At the top left, you see where it says Profile, tab over one to Roster, and there's that test that I made. Load up the test. Just like that. Now when we back out, and we go to Edit Rosters, Manage Players. Remember, don't trade players, because you can do that from here. Just the default setting. Here, Manage Players. Patrick Mahomes is back with the Miami Dolphins. Okay? Now you want to go into franchise, where you can further tweak your team. So again, be mindful of how much money you're spending, like on the type of players that you're bringing into your team. Don't try to get too greedy again. Try to give some half decent players so that you can maybe trade more players. And then whatever's left over, if you will, if you don't end up being able to build the ultimate dream team. When you go into franchise, first of all, whatever roster is loaded will carry over here into the franchise mode automatically. Go to create new league. I always use active roster, naturally, because if you're going to use the real-life NFL roster or preseason roster, it's not going to import what we just did. It's not going to import your active roster. So I'm going to select active roster, whether it's online or offline, it does not matter. Import 3,096 players. Yeah, 3,096 players.
Choose the team you want to start.
And as you can see, Miami Dolphins, we've got Patrick Mahomes as our quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. So I'm going to go ahead and select that team. Shut it. I'm trying to record. Go all the way to the bottom to league settings. And then from here, scroll all the way down under commissioner settings. I'm going to turn off the trade deadline just for the fun of it. Okay, trade difficulty. Bring it down to very easy. To make things just that, easier. And then right underneath it, salary cap, turn that shit off. Simple as that. What that's essentially going to do when you play the game is just that. It's going to make it a lot easier. First of all, there's no salary cap, and you'll be more than likely be capable of trading a crappy player away to get an amazing player. You'll be more likely to be able to do that. Might not be quite as easy as in the beginning where you're just like, boom, boom, give me this, give me that. Because you're chewing up through your salary cap that, again, as of the making of this video, I do not believe you can turn that off when you're not inside of a game mode. Okay? So build what you want, get a half-decent head start, trade a couple of players. Like I said, I was easily able to trade half a dozen characters. Players, whatever. And now I'm going to go into here, and as I play the game, like I said, I'm going to make some further tweaks. And that's it. So hopefully this was a helpful video. I really wish I could have made this under 8 minutes. This is actually like the 4th effing time I record it, and each time it's the same amount of time. I just feel like all this information is really important so that you understand. Okay? So if you have any questions, I'll do my best to try and answer them, especially in the first couple of weeks that the game comes out. Do understand that even though I'm a small YouTuber, and I don't get a lot of views on my day-to-day videos, you would be amazed as to how many comments I get daily across my entire channel, and I have 3 channels. It is mind-blowing. So if I don't answer your question, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's probably because I just didn't see it. So get a hold of me on Twitter. You can DM me there. It's kind of hard for me to miss that. Okay? So if you liked the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. If you didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, break it off in your ass. And I'll make sure that you need a permanent internet connection to see any of your game types here. Remember? Because I made a video where if you connected to the EA servers yesterday, all the game modes but Quick Play disappeared. Anyhow, if you want to subscribe, naturally, that would be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. Thanks for sticking by me in my long rant, and hopefully this is of some use to you. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.